The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to devour my flesh, my adversaries and foes, they shall stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war rise up against me, yet I will be confident. One thing I ask of the Lord that I will seek after, to live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will set me on a high rock. Now my head is lifted up above my enemies all around me, and I will offer in his tent sacrifices with shouts of joy, and will sing and make melody to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry aloud. Be gracious to me and answer me. Come, my heart says, seek his face. Your face, Lord, do I seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger, you who have been my help. Do not cast me off. Do not forsake me, O God of my salvation. If my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will take me up. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a level path because of my enemies, and they are breathing out violence. Do not give me up to the will of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, and they are breathing out violence. I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. The word of God for God's people. Thanks be to God. One of my favorite movies, which I know that I've had to have watched at least 10 times and probably much more than that. It's one of those movies where I will want to show certain clips to different people and say, have you ever seen this clip from this movie? And I want to show you one of these clips in just a second, but let me tell you a little bit more about this movie. The name of the movie is What About Bob? How many of you have seen What About Bob? A few of you. Good, good. Well, the movie is a movie that focuses on the trials of a character named Bob, played by Bill Murray, who has numerous phobias and fears. He's seen many psychiatrists and psychologists in an attempt to find relief from his fears, but has gotten so attached to the professionals that they've dropped him time and time again as a patient and referred him on to others. So the movie begins with him meeting his new psychiatrist, Dr. Marvin, played by Richard Dreyfuss. After meeting for their initial therapy session, Dr. Marvin explains to Bob that he will be going on vacation for a month and will not see him until he returns after Labor Day. Well, this does not sit well with Bob. Bob is able to track down the location of Dr. Marvin's vacation home by pretending to be a police officer investigating his own suicide. When he arrives at the vacation spot, Lake Winnipesaukee, after a long and terrifying ride on a bus, which he hates riding on, he meets Dr. Martin's family. And through their interaction, even though Dr. Marvin doesn't want him to be there and keeps trying to send him back home, through the interaction with the family, they help him to overcome his fears simply by befriending him. Dr. Marvin eventually has a nervous breakdown because Bob will not leave Lake Winnipesaukee and go home. So one of the scenes from the movie captures the spirit of this movie. And what we see is after Bob meets the family for the first time and Dr. Marvin wants him to go home, he sends him away walking down the road when Dr. Marvin's daughter discovers him walking down the road. And here's where we pick up.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Where are you going?
Just going to town. Buy some Kleenex.
Will you want a ride?
I'd love one. Do a lot of people use this car?
Just us.
So what's it like being the daughter of a brilliant analyst who's sleeping in the next bedroom at night when you need him? Is it great?
No, it's not great. I have problems the same as anyone else. The same as you.
You're afraid your bladder will explode? What other ones are the same? Like what? Like what?
Well, like analyzing everything to death to see if what I'm feeling is normal.
Yes, I have that, yeah.
Do you freeze up and
Yes.
turn into wood when you're around a
Yes.
good-looking guy and you don't even know if he likes you or not?
Well, not a guy, but yes, I freeze. You know what I treat people as if they were telephones. If I meet somebody who I don't think likes me, I say to myself, Bob, this one's just temporarily out of order. You know, don't break the connection, just hang up and try again.
And does it work?
It seems to be. I'm on vacation at Lake Winnipesaukee, aren't I?
Do you want to come sailing with me on my friend George's boat?
No.
That's okay. You don't have to.
No, I'd love to. It sounds great. I've never been on a boat, and I don't think I can handle it. It just makes my lips numb to think about it. But if your friend is a good sailor and the craft is seaworthy, yes, I will go sailing. Yeah, let's go sailing. I have no other plans. I'm sailing! I'm sailing! I'm sailing! I'm sailing! I'm sailing! I'm sailing!
We all have fears in our life, all of us. Some of us have terrifying phobias. Some of us have situations in our lives going on right now even that we're fearful of. Fear is something that all human beings have in common. In fact, I know that everybody in here has been afraid at some time or another or has a phobia of some kind, or maybe even right now the situation you're facing in your life is causing you a lot of fear. And to get us thinking about this morning, I want you to turn to a person next to you or a couple of people and really quick just share either the time when you've been most afraid in your life, or share a current fear that you're having, or share maybe a phobia that you have. And let's just take a few minutes to do this. I don't like flying on airplanes either. All right. Did anyone in here, has anyone in here never, ever been afraid? All right. That is sort of humanity's predicament. We're fearful of a lot of things. Fearful of death, fearful of how we'll die, fearful of relationships with others, fearful of how our needs are going to get met. The list goes on, and I hope that you were able to share some of those with people around you. Believe it or not, the one thing that, not the one thing, but I'm a fearful person. I worry a lot, actually. Tend to have a lot of anxiety, believe it or not, and have different things that I would call phobias. And one of those phobias is bears. As much as I love hiking, I'm terrified of bears. And I'll have to be the first to admit that when I hear Pastor Dog tell Malpe, the Lord is with you, whom shall you fear, then I still say, a bear.